During the fourth Financing for Development (FFD) conference, we went to Seville with members from 10 countries and 3 continents to challenge the space and call out the hypocrisy of the rich countries who silenced civil society and, once again, chose profit over life. Our actions centered debt cancellation, debt audits, and solidarity with Palestine.
Son las auditorías ciudadanas de la deuda pública, en donde básicamente se pueden unir varios movimientos sociales para poder evaluar cómo se han generado estas deudas, fueron a través de corrupción, de regímenes coloniales, de dictaduras, y que estas deudas son ilegítimas y no tenemos por qué pagarlas.
We started by joining the Arts Build Space, hosted by our friends from Glasgow Action Team at Ramallo, a location that became our alternative space in the following days. We attended the Feminist Forum, standing in solidarity against economic injustices, while others joined the Civil Society Forum to discuss the final FFD4 outcome document, plan our actions, and invite civil society to our alternative space at Ramallo. We then joined the CSO March, where thousands from around the world demanded financial, social, and climate justice, declaring "debt kills" and "their greed means our blood." That same weekend, we hosted the arts exhibition On Debt Row with our allies, featuring artwork by the Bikini Wax Collective from Mexico, created during one of our webinars. On June 30th, inside the FFD conference, we exposed the corporate capture of these UN spaces and the marginalization of civil society. We challenged the undemocratic power of credit rating agencies that downgrade countries for addressing their debts.
How do you feel about this? These agencies are really acting as undemocratic institutions.
For the agencies again, I was anticipating that. If you give a brief answer.
Thank you for your question.
We also spoke with government representatives, sharing our demand: don't swap your debts, audit them. At side events, we denounced the space with anti-capitalist perspectives.
I think it's very dangerous what's happening here, all this calling for debt swap, and it's very important to refuse this, to talk about the illegitimate of debt, to talk about cancelling the debt as a right, not just a demand.
As Tomás Sankara once said, we need a united front from the global south to repudiate these debts that are not our own.
The silencing of civil society was alarming. UN officials even censored stickers and pins with political messages. In this situation, Debt for Climate carried out powerful, targeted actions. On the train platform in front of the FFD4 venue, we demanded solidarity with Palestine and debt cancellation for the Global South. On the last day, after civil society was repeatedly censored and silenced, we rose in protest inside the conference, demanding urgent debt cancellation and a complete overhaul of the global financial system to break the chains of financial colonialism. Meanwhile, we as Debt for Climate and our allies organized an alternative space, the Decolonial Territory Hub.
Hola, ven conmigo al territorio decolonial.
More than a side event, it was a convergence point for those resisting colonial and capitalist systems to focus on building just, people-powered alternatives. We discussed militarization, extractivism, debt swaps and debt audits, the need for a new international economic order, and the role global North citizens must play in their own countries.
What we need is people in the North to organize and fight fascism, militarism and imperialism in your territories, not on us.
Being in Spain and witnessing no change in the colonial approach of global North countries, we also took action in the Archive of the Indies, a museum that glorifies the colonization of Abya Yala and the Philippines as a golden era for Spain. We made visible what the archive conceals: the brutality of Spanish conquests through genocides, stolen wealth, forced labor, and cultural erasure behind every record in this museum. We left a notice of colonial glorification, stressing that this museum is not a passive archive. It curates and glorifies the legacy of empire while concealing colonial violence and the past and ongoing suppression of indigenous and other peoples in these territories. We also hacked bus stops around the museum, but also other spots in Seville with our powerful messages. If you visit Seville soon, check out our mural done by our amazing Nabi.
Colonial trap! Global debt! Colonial trap!
Our last action in Seville was storming into Hotel Melia Leperos, which was one of the fancy hotels hosting CEOs of banks that are deepening financial colonialism through the debt trap. While all of this happened in Seville, our comrades from many chapters took action locally.
But the world isn't changing fast enough. Why?
Because we are stuck in a system built for the few at the cost of the many.
What happened in Seville doesn't stay in Seville. Spread the word and join a Debt for Climate chapter in your country.